A huge part of this project is Egyptian.
Egyptian. The other thing is that the part of the development is basically being planned now, and it's given a phase of 3 years to be finalized. And I think this is also a very optimistic phase or optimistic span, but given the development that happened in the parallel canal, I think everything is going to be achievable.
So always the question becomes, 3 years, when would it start? Because, you know, we heard about the 3 years, but we never heard about the starting point, which is the concern. So
well, my issue would be starting with the right legal framework, with the right institutional plan, rather than starting and then coming back in
what you said,
decisions that have been taken. So I think taking the proper time, 1 year in such a mega project for preparation is not too much. But when we start right, and I think it's been the procurement have been done. Have been announced. One of the very famous companies in the region have taken the assignment to make the proper plans with different others. So there is a part of confidence that it is in the right process and it's the right track. But let me come in this issue. Let me come to an important point. That is any project. Any mega project, when it is developed, and after years of instability and years of political turmoil in the region, which basically majorly affected economic development and economic growth in Egypt, confidence and the enabling environment for investment, which the government have made huge efforts during the past months, was also a major message of commitment of the government to prepare the enabling environment for investment. So I think this, with preparation of the mega project, is a good message of commitment.
Exactly.
Well, Dr. Hala, if we're going to move maybe to the outcomes of the economic conference in Sharm el-Sheikh, what do you think were the most important decisions that were made there in the conference?
Well, basically you had 60 billion of committed investment projects in different sectors, in infrastructure, in fuel, oil, energy. And one of the big potentials in Egypt that makes investors look for Egypt is that Egypt is a diversified economy. You have an economy that does not basically rely on 1 or 2 sectors to generate your income. You have an economy that is basically diversified. You get your income from different sectors, from your industries, from agriculture, from retail and trade, so telecommunication.
It is
all
diversified.
these sectors basically contribute to your economy. Yes, so there was a commitment of 60 billion. That's a huge amount of investment. You know, one of the major problems of Egypt during the past few years after the revolution was the major decline in the foreign direct investment from 13 billion to about 2.5 billion. It reached even $500 million in 1 year.
That's huge.
So it's a major drop.
It's a major drop.
So having 60 billion, of course, this 60 billion will not be poured in 1 year. These will be poured within the span of 3 to 5 years. But if you divide the 60 billion on 5 years, you're basically having about 12 billion each year.
So you're increasing, therefore.
And it is in a very crucial and vital sectors that you need. And I know that, I'm going to say this bluntly, a criticism that why there were no investment in industry. You need to facilitate investment in other sectors. You need investment in energy in order to build. You have a major deficit in the energy that the factories, the industries and the household needs. You have 25% lack of what you need. So investing in energy is one of the major components in order to enhance other. One of the other things is that investment in the new capital. Investment in new capital will enhance investment in infrastructure. You need infrastructure routes, you need transportation, you need, and it is in a very, very important location, which is beside the Ain Sokhna port and the Bedr industrial village. So it's the choice, I think, of the location is also important, and this is one of also the mega projects that is going to be developed within this. Yes.
Yes, in general, how did you feel about the commitments beyond the conference itself? Because that was the main point, how our projects are going to be executed, how our foreign investments are going to be directed to Egypt. Specific Arab foreign investment or Arab investment was directed towards specific projects. So how did this develop in your opinion?
Well, let me say that two things. First thing that we had a very unhealthy, let me put it, investment climate. Investment climate was basically pushing investment out. We needed to work on this enabling environment. This enabling environment is laws and regulations, and part of it is the administrative reform that is starting now, because laws and regulations are not enough. You need people who implement these laws and regulations, and you need the culture of these people.
Which is what we lack at the moment.
Exactly. So I think there are a lot of efforts. I've been witnessing this closely, a lot of efforts that have been done in terms of laws, in terms of regulations, in terms of enhancing investment changes. The one-stop shop is one of the major things that happen in the new investment law, but this is not enough. Who's implementing this? It is basically the people, it's basically the government, it's basically the administrative. So you need to work a lot on the administrative reform. I think the new civil law that has been ratified recently, but I think they are working now on the executive regulation, and I think they are working on having open forums for open dialogues in order to reach a proper formula or a proper outcome of these executive regulations. You lack in your civil law incentives and penalties. You do not penalize people, and you do not incentivize people who work well. So this applying this properly, I think, is very crucial in order to, because at the end it is people that makes the change.
Yes, we'll be speaking more about the challenges, the current challenges of the economic development, but right after the short break.
Short break, and we'll be right back.